In this video, we're going to take your sound from this
to this. I'm going to teach you how to get a professional sound out of any microphone. And to prove it to you, I'm using a $50 budget USB mic, and I guarantee by the end of this video, it's going to sound better than some of the biggest channels you watch. So whether you're a content creator, streamer, or just someone who wants to flex on your friends in Discord, I'm going to help you take your audio game to the next level with any microphone on any budget.
Let's start with the basics. Do you know what this is called? This is a parametric equalizer. It lets you shape the tone of your mic by adjusting different frequencies to fine-tune your sound. Let me explain how it works. Basically, the bottom horizontal line represents the frequencies from the bass on the left side to the treble on the right side, measured in hertz. The lower the number, the lower the pitch. The higher the number, the higher the pitch. The vertical axis represents gain. This is how much volume you're adding or removing to boost or cut specific frequencies. If everything's flat like it is right here, then there's no change. But the moment you start shaping that line is when everything about your mic will change.
When we speak, it's multi-tonal. It consists of all these different frequencies. I'm going to show you how to dial in the sound, but first, let me teach you how to get a parametric EQ effect into the most commonly used programs. For any content creators out there who only care about post-production, you can apply a parametric EQ effect inside Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, or Final Cut during the editing process. It's usually a native app built into the program. Like this one's just right here. You see, just drag and drop, and then you scroll down here, and oh, hey, look, parametric EQ. There it is. This is my go-to method since I record all my footage on camera and then edit it afterwards. It's super simple and it sounds great. But if you want this EQ live for something like Twitch or YouTube streaming, here's what you gotta do. Download the Reaper VST plugins. They're free, and I've got a link in the description. Also, while you're down there, hit the sub button. Thank you. Once you install the plugins, open up OBS. Find your mic in the audio mixer and click the three dots next to it. Go to Filters. Click the plus icon at the bottom left and choose VST plugin. From there, pick REA EQ. Now, say you're somebody that wants your mic to sound great all the time and not just in Premiere and OBS. We can set up a system-wide EQ using a free app called VoiceMeeter Banana. Here's how to set it up. First, go download VoiceMeeter Banana and install the program. I'll leave a link down in the description. Once it's installed, open up VoiceMeeter Banana, and it's gonna look a little complicated, but we're only gonna touch a few things, guys. At the top left under Hardware Input 1, left click on this and select your microphone. You'll probably see a couple of options like WDM or MME. Try WDM first since it usually has lower latency. Another thing you should probably do is just rename the channel so that way you know it's your microphone for sure every time you boot it. Just label your stuff, guys, and do it. Next, just left click on the button labeled B1 on the bottom right of the mixer panel. That routes your mic through VoiceMeeter's virtual output, which we're going to use in a little bit. And this is pretty much all we're going to use. Everything else you can turn off. You don't need any of that A1, A2, A3, those can all be turned off. You don't need B2, that can be turned off. And you don't need to turn on mute or solo. That's all we're gonna do here. Next, we're going to Windows Sound Control panel. Select the recording tab, scroll down until you see VoiceMeeter Out B1. Right click on this and set it as your default device and default communication device. Also, make sure that your audio is still routing through whatever you're using it on the playback tab. So if you're using headphones plugged directly into your computer, just make sure that nothing changed there. Now we can manipulate the EQ by clicking the EQ button on the right side of VoiceMeeter Banana. And you'll see that where it says B1 under the virtual output here. So you just click on that and you'll get the whole window.
This is how I dial mine in, and you can use this as a starting point for yourself. I think everybody has a different sounding voice, so every EQ is going to be a little different, but this is a good template. This will work for any of the apps I showed you today. Just make sure to copy as close as I got it here, and then what you can do is you can kind of tweak it to your voice. I start by removing any junk frequencies we don't need. So that for me, I remove any frequencies under 50-ish hertz, and this is called a high pass. Then I go to the opposite end and remove anything above 19 to 20k hertz. This is called a low pass. I know. You think it'd be the other way around, but hey, this is what it's called, man. I don't make up the rules. Next, I start shaping my sound by manipulating the mid-range. I generally work around 1000 hertz for this, and what I do is I set a wide curve and I just start pulling that tab down, removing those frequencies. And I think this adds a lot of definition to the voice. This is called scooping your mids for any of my music people out there. Next, I'm going to add a small bump around 100 hertz to give the voice a little warmth and weight. It's going to add a bit of bass there. Next, I add a boost to the 7,000 to 8,000 hertz range. This adds air and clarity. It's the crispy range that a lot of people associate with studio quality sound. This is a great starting point for most voices. You might need to move some stuff around a bit here or there depending on the actual timbre of your voice, but I have a decade's worth of experience in a studio setting up random people's microphones and getting an EQ on them, and I found this works best for most people. And you can always remember the shape. It's a valley with two little hills on either side. Just remember to cut those junk frequencies. That's how you say that word. It takes a few steps to get going, but once you got it down, you can make any mic sound good in almost any situation. And that's the point. You don't need expensive gear to sound good. It's not about the price tag. It's all about the tricks, the setup, and knowing how to squeeze every drop of value out of your gear. Now, if you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment on this video or in the tech help section of my Discord. If there's anything else you want me to break down next, let me know in the comments. I just want to help you guys make better content streams or just level up your gaming setup without breaking the bank. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and until next time, GG. Banana.